Everyone. My name's Mark Allen Lovewell. I'm a folk singer from the island of Martha's Vineyard, and I'm so glad that you could join with us tonight. It is starting to feel like spring. I will say the wood stove is going, but we haven't fired him up really. We haven't fired her up. We call her Ashley, and she's got some heat coming out there. Let me just check. I'm gonna toggle this, do a little. I want to make sure you folks feel a little bit of the warmth here tonight. There we go. It's so good to have you all here tonight. All right, keep an eye on that because I think it'll get all fired up and then I'll have to pull down. Anyway. So, whoops. So I have here this concertina, which you just heard me play. It's a Baritone Concertina. I don't think they make them as low as this one. And doesn't it sound like a fishing boat horn? Foghorn. Anyway, I don't play this enough for you. I don't bring it out. And so tonight we're going to do a little bit of celebratory about these wonderful instruments, because I don't know about how you feel about musical instruments, but musical instruments are tools. There's no question about it. They're tools. They're like the hammer, the saw, but there's something else to them. There's something else to these musical instruments that puts them several notches above the concept of, oh, it's just a tool. It's really a personal friendship that goes on. And this little guy here, this big guy, well, these instruments, they guide us through our lives, and we share stories with them. Take them different places, and yes, I've just get it out there that Molly will be joining with me in a minute. I know we've got a lot of followers of Molly now, and so I just have to pay attention to that. But just for some of you who are tuning in for the first time, my name's Mark Allen Lovewell. I'm a folk singer from the island of Martha's Vineyard. We do this every Sunday night. We've been doing it for almost 2 years. Can you believe it? 2 years. I was doing some research, looking in my diary. I hope you all keep a diary or keep a journal. I was looking at when my first show was on a Saturday night, and then it didn't take long, and I moved them over to Sunday night. And some of you have been with me the whole time, and anyway, so Molly is part of the show, and we're doing all kinds of cool things together before and out after the show, during the show, whatever. She's a lovely lady, a lovely performer, and you're going to hear her in a few minutes. But she and I were talking about these musical instruments that I have, and we have, and she has her own. But anyhow, so you just heard the baritone. I'm going to play for you another concertina. This one is the one you're most likely to hear me playing. This is not a baritone. This one has a much higher sound, and I think you'll agree with me, it's a sweet sounding instrument. Anyway, concertina is a wonderful instrument. I'm sorry. I met a young gal from Frisco town, my heart was not my own. We kissed when we parted, my money and watch was gone. As I was a-walking down the street, the people said to me, now there goes a brave young whaler man who's off to sea once more. Once more, once more, we're off to sea once more. Now there goes a brave young whaler man who's off to sea once more. Well, a boarding master picked me up, his name was Shanghai Brown. I asked for him to take me in, but he looked at me with a frown. The last time that I paid you off, you chucked me no more score. But I'll take your advance and I'll give you a chance. I'll send you to sea once more. Once more, once more, we're off to sea once more. Well, I'll take your advance and I'll give you a chance. I'll send you to sea once more. Well, he shipped me aboard a whaling ship bound for the Arctic Sea. Where the cold wind blows, there's ice and snow. Jamaica rum would freeze. Oh, I can't stay here, I have no gear. I spent all my money ashore. 'Twas then that I wished that I was dead. Then go to sea once more. Once more, once more, I'm off to sea once more. 'Twas then that I wished that I was dead, then go to sea once more. Well, sometimes we got sperm whales, and sometimes we got none. With a 20-foot oar stuck to your hand, you rode all day long. And night it came all along, you slept upon your oar. Oh, your back is weak, you shall not see a berth at sea once more. Once more, we're off to sea once more. Oh, your back is weak, you shall not see a berth at sea once more. So come all you brave young whalermen and listen to my song. When you go on those long whaling trips, I'll tell you what goes wrong. Take my advice, don't drink strong drink or travel along the shore. But get married, me lads, and spend your nights in and go to sea no more. Once more, we're off to sea once more. But get married, me lads, and spend your nights and go to sea no more. No more, I'm off to sea no more. I got married, me lads, and I spend my nights in. I go to sea no more. Anyway, there you go. So Molly's here, and Molly's watching the comments. How we getting any comments, Molly?
Oh yeah, we got people here.
We got our usual suspects.
Friends, they're all here. I don't know why my alarm keeps going off. I think it's telling me to watch your show.
It's time for you to be a part of the show.
Okay, all right. I hope it doesn't keep going off.
So, we want to do a shout out. And first of all, tell you that this wonderful concertina that I have here that I just played for you is celebrating a birthday this month. I don't know the precise date that it was made, but I have it somewhere written down. But it was made in England and London, March of 1854.
So it's having a birthday.
So we're celebrating a birthday for that, but we're just going to say that one quickly because we get two other birthdays we got to shout out. But that concertina was made 168 years ago.
And it's beautiful. I wish you could see it up close. It's all of this embossed leather, and there's this pattern when he goes open with the thing, with the whatever you call. It's just gorgeous inside.
Isn't it
Can
nice?
you pull it open so they can see this
Let's see
beautiful
if I can.
pattern in there?
Look at
And
that.
it's just amazing. The craftsmanship.
And I had it restored twice, and the guy told me it's original. Yeah, it's original.
Amazing.
I think the only thing I changed was the strap. A lot of work has been done it over the years, but it's original.
It's gorgeous.
Can you say that about your phone? We're just talking about phone. We're just talking about phones, and anyway, so we got to pay attention here because this has been a week of birthdays.
A week of birthdays. To a couple of special people in our lives.
In our lives, in her life.
Yeah.
Her son Simon.
My son Simon had a birthday on the 27th of February, so that was
Last Sunday. We missed
it.
We missed mentioning it it wasn't until after the show. Because also, my son Alan Lovewell had a birthday on March 3rd.
So birthdays galore, including for the concertina.
So, in addition to Molly and I having a love for music, we love our kids.
Absolutely.
And we celebrate their birthday.
Yeah, I did celebrate Simon.
I did celebrate Alan's. But I think it's a good opportunity for us in an informal, casual way. They don't know we're doing it. We haven't alerted them to it. To Simon and Alan, happy birthday.
Yay!
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
and Alan and Concertina.
Happy birthday to you. One more time. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Simon and Alan and Concertina. Happy birthday to you.
That was fun.
And of course you could comment, to my commenting friends out there, you have permission to let us know if you got a birthday too soon.
Well, yeah.
You know?
Oh, we got hearts. I see hearts. There's hearts abound.
So here's a toast to the,
a toast.
we're going to toast to the,
We're gonna toast.
toast to the birthday people that we know.
And anybody we don't know.
All right, I want to get serious.
Uh-oh, I gotta stop smiling.
Well, you're going to contribute to this.
Okay. This is hard.
I just, we all care about this ocean. We all care about this ocean, and there are a lot of things that are happening in the ocean that cause us concern. And I'm sure that in your love for the maritime and your love for beaches and your love for going out in a boat, fishing, whatever you go out and do that connects you to the ocean, connects you to the earth, you care about the ocean. And the ocean is 3/4 surface of the earth. And recently as yesterday, I'm excuse me for being vague. I'm going to be vague. I'm not going to say specifically names or anything like that. But there was an opportunity for me to hear some people talking about they don't like seals. They don't like seals in the waters of Martha's Vineyard, Cape Cod. They feel there are too many of them. And their approach was that we have to get rid of them or hunt them, take them away, or use some scientific tools to minimize the numbers in our waters. And it's not a small number of people that have that strong feeling, because there are a lot of seals around here. And for many of us who have grown up as children, we didn't see many seals.
No.
And I'm personally upset by the approach that they're taking about that there are too many seals, and they give all their reasoning and whatever. I have a very strong feeling that the ocean has enough problems without us going around picking and choosing what animals we should have in the ocean. We are already, heavily fishing all around the world. It's not an ocean that isn't somehow experiencing overfishing. But the idea of somebody coming up with the argument and saying that there are too many of a certain species in the ocean makes me think of something like a hotel. The ocean is a hotel. We're going to let some of these guys in, and we're not going to let those out. We'll say we can. No. I'm going to cut to the chase here. The ocean is too vast. The ocean is too important in our earth, and too important for us to continue to dilly-dally and take animals out. Now, there's a really important reason why the seals are coming back. It's because we've had this extremely strong, harsh management level to say we will no longer hunt seals. And we have that same strategy with other marine mammals. And that's important. For someone to sit and say, well, I don't remember seeing them when I was a kid, is too narrow. for the ocean is very old. It's older than we're only a drop in a moment of time in the history of this earth. And for us humans to take on this idea of saying we're going to take animals that we've already harmed. My hope is that, and my point with you is that you, like me, just care. Molly and I went out sailing last summer. We had one of our most pleasant sails of all, was to sail outside of Edgartown Harbor.
And we saw the seals.
Yeah, tell me what you saw.
Oh, it was so cool. So, I mean, we saw this fish jumping. Like, all this, like, churning water was going crazy. And then we see it making a leap to try to get some of the fish that were churning. Was a seal, and then it was over there, and then it was over there. I don't know how many of them there were, if it was one just doing a lot of swimming, but it was magical to see that.
It was wonderful, and you know, my father died when he was 93 years old, spent his whole time in Edgartown, you know, and we traveled the world, but in all of his life, he only saw one marine mammal in Edgartown, and that was one seal. One seal, his whole lifetime.
And now they're coming on the other beaches. I mean, your nephew Dean took a fabulous picture of one.
There is no question that there are a lot of seals around here. And they're here eating. They're eating food.
That's
Anyone who would make the argument that we should not be allowing those seals to eat that food, that we have reason to diminish the number of population of seals because they're eating fish, is made a grievous assumption. Human beings do more harm, do more killing of fish in the ocean than any other animal. You can't have a conversation about seals eating too many striped bass, seals eating too many of the bait fish. The biggest culprit for harming the populations of animals around us is us humans. And so to say that, because seals are eating the striped bass, no, the reason why there are less striped bass in the waters around Martha's Vineyard, the reason why there's less bait fish, the reason why there's less cod, it's not because of seals. You know, it's because of us. So, what's the point? What's Mark's point? The thing is, you can't single out, in the management of fisheries, in the management of the ocean, you can't run the ocean like a hotel. You have to recognize that it is a far bigger topic. Now, I love visiting my son in California. And for all of my friends out in California, you have far more history and far more experience in understanding the drama of an increased population of marine mammals. And I'm not gonna argue with you about the idea is that, there's too many of this. I'm just not, because what our biggest concern really right now is to stabilize, restore the fish of the sea that we love, to restore the habitat that we care about. Those are the priorities. Seals have been around for, I don't want to say millions of years. What do we do? What are we thinking? The good news is that we're trying to bring whales back. The good news is we're trying to bring sea turtles back. The good news is that there's really a very strong effort to try and restore the fish of the sea in our waters. Somebody comes up to me and tells me that, that they're catching mackerel off the mid-Atlantic and they're doing fine. What is the big shock for me in the last month or so, and I've written about this and I've talked to you about it, is the mackerel are in such trouble. Mackerel used to be ubiquitous with the waters around here. You used to be able to eat mackerel like some people would eat a tuna fish out of a tuna can. It was so common. So here's the story. We need to pay closer attention to bringing back the fish that we don't see when we go to the shore. The fish that we don't see when we go out in a boat, because there's nobody advocating for those animals better than you, better than me. And I think seals are easy to target. You know, oh my God, my nephew, Dean Lovewell, took this beautiful picture of a seal. Seals, you know, for whatever complaint you want to make about seals, they're part of the system. They're part of this amazing Earth system. So I had to step on my soapbox because I want you to know how I feel, and I want you, in your reviewing of it, is don't just target in your thinking certain species. You got to look at the whole picture, the whole ocean. And let's bring fish back. Let's bring whales back. Let's bring sea turtles back. Let's bring them all back, and celebrate on the humanity in our being able to manage the oceans around us. So that's my big speech of the day. Thank you. So, thank you for, I don't know if anybody's turned off the program yet, but because they heard enough from me. Well, I know people care. I mean, this is not a topic that is, I mean, obviously, you know, there are other topics in the world that people are facing and looking at that are far more grievous than the ocean. But that's part of our problem, is that the ocean doesn't get the attention it deserves. Even though there's some really smart people. I know what I'm doing. Fish of the sea. I was just thinking of the other one. Oh my God, we got to do the fish of the sea. You're going to help me with that.
That's a concertina one, right?
That's right.
Woo! Woo!
Oh my gosh, here we go. We actually have a list, a set list. Come all you young sailormen, listen to me. I'll sing you a song of the fish in the sea. Blow you winds westerly, westerly blow. We're bound to the south, south go. Now up comes the whale, the biggest of all. He went up aloft and let all the sails fall. Blow you winds westerly, westerly blow. We're bound to the south, south go. With his striped back, he stands up on deck and says, "My name is Jack." Blow you winds westerly, westerly blow. We're bound to the southern, south go. Now up comes the bluefish, he's a wagging his tail. He flips and he flops and says, "Time to make sail." Blow you winds westerly, westerly blow. We're bound to the southern, south go. Now up comes the flatfish and we call him Skate. If you'll be the captain,
I'll be the mate.
Blow you winds westerly, westerly blow. We're bound to the southern, south go. Isn't she good? I've been singing songs since I was a teenager, okay, so I was 12 years old. But I never had anybody sing the same song with me sitting right next to me. So if ever I seem a little confused,
I'm throwing him off.
now up comes the herring, he's standing along. Oh, come on, boys, move along. Blow your winds westerly, westerly blow. We're bound to the southern, south go. Now I know you all love swordfish. So come. of the sea. We're coming about, boys, so heartily. Blowing winds westerly, westerly blow. We're bound to the suburbs of the One more verse.
I need a prop.
One more verse. So up comes the fisherman. He's stalwart and grim. He dips his big net in and scoops them all in. Blowing winds westerly, westerly. We're bound to the suburbs of the Blowing winds westerly, westerly blow. We're bound to the suburbs of Thank you. And I want to say something about my fishermen friends, and I know that your lives are being economically impacted by the scarcity of some species of animals and fish. And that is easy to target and say that it's because of seals. It's not. That's too simple an answer. That's too simple. The management, we have fishing councils and organizations that are responsible, scientists who are in charge of managing fish. We should never, ever be in a position where there's so few fish out there that we have to shut you down. There is no resolution to going out and killing seals to bring back fish. No, the way to do it is to manage the fish. Make sure that they are sustainable, make sure they are abundant, and make sure that you're okay. And in that order, I'm sorry, but it's the resource that's the most valuable. We humans are the guests. We're only on this earth for a short time. And the way we're going at it right now, we're only going to be on the earth a short time. But the idea is the resource needs to be taken care of. It needs to be taken care of. And I just had to throw that in there after singing the songs. I love my fishermen friends, and I know the hardship they're dealing with. It's really hard. You know, we could do a whole show about that. But I wanted to get this topic out of the way. Now I'm going to play the guitar. Now we're going to have some fun again.
Oh, this is a fun one.
Oh my God, we're going to have fun now. Now this is the one I was getting ready for. So I want to talk about Zeb Tilton. Zeb Tilton was a coastal schooner captain out of Vineyard Haven. He had a boat called the LSS Wentworth.
That was a big boat. I had a lot of sails on it. A lot of names. How many masts did that one have?
2. Though there are many schooners that had many more than that. And anyhow, you lift that up for a second so I can wave these things at my audience. So Zeb Tilton, I'll just show you. Polly Burroughs. Anybody remember Polly Burroughs? I remember. What a lovely lady. Zeb Tilton, this is a book about him and his amazing schooner. It went up and down the coast. And he sang, I'm going to put this out of the way. But you can just look at this unbelievable book. Polly Burroughs put it together.
A lot of photos.
A lot of wonderful stories. He's the Tilton family. Let me see if I can just wave one.
And this was the singing Tilton family, right?
Yeah, they are the singing Tilton family. Anyway, that's for another day. But I just want to share with you the value of. And like so many coastal people, so many sailors, so many people who worked on the waterfront, he sang. He sang songs. Farmers used to sing. Lots of people sang. Singing was a big part of the culture of America. Singing was a part of the culture of the world in the days before recorded music, in those days. And they sang. And Zeb was a funny man.
And then there was Welcome. Welcome Tilton.
Welcome
what a great name.
And Zeb Tilton had a brother, George Fred Tilton, who's a wonderful whaling captain. He was the last sort of the last whaling captain of the Charles W. Morgan. Anyway, that's a whole nother story too. But Zeb Tilton was celebrated, and the Alice S. Wentworth, but he was so well regarded for his singing and his storytelling that he performed in Radio City Hall.
Wow.
And he used to sing this song, which Molly's going to help me.
I love the song. It's a great story.
Just look at the first
Oh, here you go.
Oh my God, I get so nervous. I get so wired up. There we go. Now this song is like a joke. You have to listen to the words to get the joke. If you're not paying attention to the words to the song, you won't get the joke. Now the other thing is also is this is not a joke that's like the Saturday Night Live joke. Every joke that you hear on TV today is very short. They have to be short because there's a commercial interruption coming around the corner pretty quickly. So they're skits, and you know this because you watch TV. Their skits are short. They're not long. They're you know. But humor can take some time. For instance, this song. This song, you're not going to start laughing on the first verse. You're not going to start laughing on the second verse.
Well, they might, but...
You might. But you're going to have to listen. And also, here's the other piece that's good news. There was humor in the days of Zeb Tilton. There was humor in the 18th century.
And no commercial interruptions.
And 19th century, that's right. And nobody came in and interrupted and said we have to take a commercial break. In fact, on this show tonight, we don't do that.
No commercials.
My grandmother, she, at the age of 93, one day in May was taken sick and died. And as soon as she was dead, why the will, of course, was read by a lawyer as we stood by her side. To my brother it was found she had left 100 pounds, the same unto my sister I declare. But when it came to me, why the lawyer says he, Granny's left you that old armchair. Oh, how they titter and how they laugh, how my brother and my sister laughed when they heard that lawyer declare, well, Granny's left you that old armchair. Well, I thought it hardly fair. Still I said I do not care. And when evening came I took the chair away. Oh, the neighbors at me chaffed, and my brother at me laughed. He says, Mark, you'll find it handy someday. Settle down in life and you find yourself a wife, you'll find it very easy, I declare. On a cold and frosty night, when the fire is burning bright, you can sit in Granny's old armchair. Now you can sing with me. Oh, how they titter and how they laugh, how my brother and my sister laughed when they heard that lawyer declare, well, Granny's left you that old armchair. Well, my brother said came true, you know. For in a year or two, strange to say, I settled down in easy life. Oh, first a girl I did court, you know, and then I bought her a ring, and I took her to the church. She became my wife.
What happened to the chair?
Now you may guess that we were happy as could be. Oh, when my work was over, I declare, oh, I never abroad would roam, but instead I'd stay at home and be seated on Granny's old armchair. Here's the chorus, sing with me.
Oh, how they titter
And how they laugh, how my brother and my sister laughed when they heard that lawyer declare, well, Granny's left you that old armchair.
There's more, isn't there? Isn't there more? Oh, there's more. Here we go. Well, one night.
Well, one night. This is the last verse, so this is the most important verse, and if you're looking for something to laugh about, this is what you've been waiting for. Because in a joke, there's the punchline. What's the first line there?
Well, one night.
Well, one night, the chair fell down.
Oh, no.
When I picked it up, I found the seat had fallen out upon the floor. And there, to my surprise, in a pile before my eyes, were a lot of notes, 10,000 pounds or more. When my brother heard of this, well, I must confess, with rage he went nearly wild, he tore his hair
All out.
and all I could say to him was, hey, Brother Jim, don't you wish you had Granny's old armchair? All right, last time. Here, sing with us.
Oh, how they titter
And how they laugh, how my brother and my sister laughed when they heard that lawyer declare, Granny's left you that old armchair. Oh, Granny's left you that
old
armchair. Well done, Molly. You kept me on the path. Oh.
I love that one. That's fun.
I love that song. All right, I got something to show you. I love singing that song, and I've been singing it for a really long time. And pre-COVID, in the days before COVID, in order to have an audience that would get me through the winter, I would sing at the local nursing home.
I'm sure
no
they
small
loved you.
thing, you know, no small thing. You know, go there and sing with the ladies. Mostly ladies. I'm afraid for all of you men out there who are getting old, I want you to know the women will out-survive us. The nursing home is mostly women. And they're lovely ladies. And they know more stuff than you and I could ever imagine, those ladies. So be kind to senior citizens, because they have the history and story that goes with it. Well, I go over there and I'd sing. I want to share with you something that was given to me by one of the residents of Windermere. I'm going to wave this up real close to you so you can see it. Do you see that? You see that all right? I'll tell you, if you haven't figured it out what it is, it's Granny's chair.
It's perfect.
This wonderful lady who was a resident there, and she's no longer with us, in 2012, so that would be 10 years ago.
It's so sweet, and it's a hooked rug, the old-fashioned kind of hooked rug.
Yeah, Windermere, and she made this for me and gave it to me. Hook. What do you call hook rug?
A hooked rug, yeah, the old-fashioned
Granny's chair. I thought this would be a good evening to share this with you. What a heart-filled lady. She loved that song. But more than that, she loved me. She was a sweetheart. She made that for me.
So sweet.
And she's not around, but that is. And a wonderful memory for me to share with you. And, you know, the power of music. The power of music keeps us going. And no doubt music kept her going. And music kept a lot of our friends going. Friends who aren't around anymore. And even you, and no matter what age you are, music is a big part of your life.
It keeps us all going.
If you're here watching this show,
that says a lot right there.
That says a lot. That says a lot right there too.
And we're glad you're here.
We're so glad you're here. I want you to feel part of us. I want you to feel like you're right here in this living room with us.
Yep, I think they are.
Next weekend, daylight saving time, right? It comes in.
That's right.
I don't know how much longer we're going to have these shows in this living room with the wood stove, because in a few weeks we won't need the wood stove, and so we'll move it to another room. But
oh boy, we know what's tuning up now. Everybody warm up your voices. You all know this one. You're going to sing it with us.
We were just talking about Zeb Tilton. Well, his niece, Mildred Tilton, married Gail Huntington. Gail Huntington sang this song and taught me this song. Zeb Tilton died months before I was born. So if you're ever trying to imagine the timeline between the history of the vineyard and it passing from one generation to another. So this is rolling home. But I want to give a shout out to my Patreon supporters. Thank you so much for supporting me, supporting us, supporting the show. It's real.
It's real.
It's real. It's real. I mean, there's no question in the mind when I'm going to my checkbook. There it is. You folks are helping me out, and that is huge. And we can also say that, you know, this show, after the show is over, we go on. We got things doing. We're musically doing stuff. We're doing all kinds of stuff. You want to say anything, Molly, about what you've been doing today?
Oh, I was in the recording studio mixing, which if you have ever heard a recording, it has to be mixed. It has to be balanced. It has to have all the tracks put together so you can hear all the things at the right levels. And I was doing that today and having a ball, and it was so much fun.
Hours.
We made recordings.
We've been doing recordings.
Yep.
And so your Patreon supporters aren't just supporting the show.
Supporting
supporting
something
us.
that goes on.
You know, we're not doing any concerts anywhere. We haven't done Carnegie Hall yet.
That's coming. You know that's coming.
I'll let you know. And I won't be asking for my Patreon supporters to support me if we have to do that. But anyhow, the good news is that the music continues after the show. And I hope the memories and thoughts of this show go with you through the week. Because it certainly does at this end. We have fun. And we have fun with you. It colors our week. Having it on Sunday night is a pretty cool time.
It's just great to know that there are a lot of people here in this room with us through this. It's so awesome. It's really
We're almost
fun.
2 years. Unbelievable. Yeah, we're in the recording studio. And you know, what we're doing is wonderful stuff. It's not astronaut training. It's not rock and roll.
It's
There's no piano in the room.
What we did's what we do. It's real.
We're just doing what we do on these shows. And having a good time.
Having a good time.
So, again, thank you. And if you're not familiar with Patreon, please look up patreon.com, or even better, you can go to my website, markallenlovewell.com.
And sign up for the newsletter. He writes
Oh,
this
the newsletter.
awesome newsletter.
Oh my
every
God,
month. It's amazing.
New revelation. I didn't know this. I didn't know this until today. I've been doing the newsletter. The newsletter, there's a free newsletter that you get about every month. It's close to every month. I've been doing it for a year.
It's a great read.
And we have people like it. I haven't had one person cancel getting a free newsletter. Nobody's ever written me and said, I don't like your newsletter. Maybe you could be the first. You want to be the first one? You could subscribe to my newsletter and then write me and tell me you don't like it. How about that? You'd be welcome. Because then I'd make you a star of the show, because you'd be the first person who didn't like it.
Yes, I mean, a journalist,
and I'm not writing just
making a newsletter.
And I'm not writing just about me, though. There's enough vanity and enough egotistical maniacs in the music industry. I'm writing a lot about the waterfront and my friends and whatever. So please sign up for the newsletter. But I also want to share with you this, because Molly Canoa got her website up.
Yeah.
It was down for a little while.
Yeah.
And it's up.
It's up. It's
and
updated.
I want you to go to it. Can you see that? You all right? Can you see it? I want you to go to that website. I want you to tell your friends about it. Because you're only seeing a fraction of who Molly is when you come to this show. You're only seeing a piece.
It's a good piece. It's a fun piece.
Please comment. I want you to comment on my show. Comment about what I said earlier. I want you to be engaged. I want you to connect. We got some really nice people. We even have a little group on Facebook called Sunday at Sea.
Yeah, join it.
People like Melissa and Sharon, they show up and they feed the group there. They're there with their ideas and thoughts. They're awesome. All hands, command the capstan. See the cable running clear. Lead the way and deliver the voice for the wind. We do steer. Here's the chorus. Rolling on, rolling on, rolling on across the sea, rolling on near the land, rolling on near the sea. Fare thee well, dear Spanish maiden. It is time to bid adieu. Happy times we spent together. Happy times we spent with you. Rolling on, rolling on, rolling on across the sea, rolling on to near the end, rolling on near God. Round Cape Horn, one frosty morning, and the sails are full of
Snow.
and no haven't been singing, this is your last chance.
You know what's coming.
Many thousand miles behind us, many thousand miles to go. The ocean lifts her waves to that fact. Remember shore, rolling home, rolling home, rolling home across the sea, rolling home to Martha's Vineyard, rolling home near God to thee. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful week. And don't forget to adjust your clocks. Can you believe it?
Right.
It's just like, oh boy.
Spring's coming.
Oh my God, that means gardening. That means I can start working on my boat.